Well, let's get this party started, shall we?
Billionaires are the only minority we should be scared of. They got the power to destroy this country. They don't need your protection. They need your accountability.
My. Kool-Aid. And the original flavor, no less. If you know, you know. Mm. Someone's been reading other books besides the Bible. Not quite what I was expecting, but okay.
Just so we can make sure that we're all on the same page here, if you see anybody stealing food in the month of November after their benefits got cut off, no, you didn't. You didn't see anything. I know for a fact I didn't see anything. Collectively, none of us saw shit. Okay? Deal.
And he's right. He is correct. Okay, I didn't see shit.
There is not going to be a purple revolution. Because in order to have a revolution in America, you need Black people. And they don't have that. What they have is a certain demographic that wants other people in that demographic to have a soft place to land and be coddled when they realize that MAGA does not care about them. And that's fine. They can do that. But that's not revolutionary. Back in 2016, a bunch of Republicans left the MAGA party, and then they got cushy jobs on MSNBC telling liberals all kinds of things they want to hear as analysts on that channel. In 2024, Kamala Harris did really try to get a certain group of people who may agree with things like women's rights and the women's right to choose to leave that party and vote with her. And you know what they did? Yeah, they did not vote for her. They voted for the patriarchy. We are constantly in this tug of war with Republicans and MAGA who are trying to pull the rope backward. How far back depends on who you ask. 1950s, 1990s, 1776, whatever it is, it's regressive. And then you have liberals and Democrats always trying to pull them forward against their will, mind you, pull them into the future. And I have said for a long time, drop the rope. Democrats and liberals who are candidates running for office need to drop the rope and just walk to the left. If you want this purple contingency to be our new right wing and conservative party, then that's great because at least we have a starting point, right? And then MAGA can become the extremists on the right. I am more interested in becoming a deeper blue. There's a whole group of voters that Democrats have abandoned who want to vote Democratic, who believe in a lot of the ideals and values of Democrats, who just need a few shifts in policy, who will vote for the Democratic candidate. Chasing after these MAGA voters is not the way to go. We tried it and we failed it. I want to be a deeper blue. I don't want red in my blue. Y'all can miss me with that one.
And she's right. No notes. Oh, did you happen to see the latest No Kings fashion show runway this weekend? Oh, slay. Mm-mm-mm.
Is you on our side or is you faking? Is you trying to leak our information? Is you a prophet or is you for profit? Is you for yourself or for the nation? Oh, is there
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, evening, or afternoon, depending on what part of the globe you're on, what time zone you're in. I am your host, Skeptically Speaking.
And I'm Sweet Pea from across the pond.
And do we have a show? Do we have a show? Do we have a show for you? I mean, I don't know. It's like this past week, I should say weekend, has been a revelation. It has been a revelation. It has shown how far the white community is willing to go in support for our rights. And we've just proven that we are willing to go right up to the line and then stop. Making protest literally unbearable and unmanageable and basically ineffective. If you want more independent media in your life, please consider supporting the show. You can support us through Cash App, Venmo, or become a Patreon subscriber. Links are in the description. We'd love to have you. We want to be part of the independent media in your lives. You found us on YouTube. You can also find us on TikTok, Blue Sky, Discord, Instagram, Threads, Facebook, Kick, Rumble, Twitch, Twitter, and now Substack. Sweet Pea, how are you?
I'm doing better. I've got a concoction of lemsip and manuka honey. I got a bit of a cold. How are you doing?
I'm okay as long as the ice holds out. I have to say, this show is going to be, well, by the way, you are not allowed to be sick. Without you, this show does not happen. Or just doesn't happen well. I mean, you can make anything happen, but just because you can doesn't mean you should, you know?
I will try and not get any sicker than I am.
Please don't. I tell you what. This last week we're gonna be talking about something that's probably not going to be popular. I'm just going to say it right out in the open. This will not be. Well, you know, it's not going to be. Oh, by the way, have you seen the latest meme?
No. I saw.
When I say latest meme, I mean latest for me. I'm sure people have already seen this 30, 40 times, and I have to share it with everyone. I saw it, so now you have to. Okay? Okay. Yes, you are looking at the Pillsbury Proud Boys. That's what you're looking at.
Oh, no.
The same ones that are going to critique women for their weight. All the Nazis in one shot. Isn't that nice? These were, by the way, if you're not familiar with the last show that we did a show on the Nazis that started a Telegram chat, went back and forth, and said a lot of heinous shit in that chat. It was pretty disgusting. So, yeah. Yeah, they outed themselves. A few of them lost their jobs, but it was just jobs doing nothing. Heads of organization, their biggest job was collecting money from stupid people willing to give them money. So, oh no, they'll have to select a job at OAN, One News Network, or whatever the fuck, or if even Fox. I'm sure Fox will be more than glad to pick them up.
I'm sure Trump is looking for new fluffers.
Yeah, there's always
a job for somebody.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like this. There is nobody too despicable. I guarantee you, if Jeffrey Epstein were still alive, Donald Trump would have commuted his sentence somehow. I don't know. He'd have figured out.
Oh, yeah. He would
He'd
have
have-
pardoned him.
Yeah, he would have used
And
Ron DeSantis somehow.
Mhm.
They'd have figured out a way.
He would have pardoned him,
Mm-hmm.
and then he would have found a way to employ him in the White House somewhere.
Somehow.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, you know.
Mm.
Well, so we had the No Kings fashion show runway, the costume party. And I wanted to hear what Black people who've been in the trenches, who've been warning against fascism, I wanted to hear what their thoughts on the latest shenanigans. And I was not disappointed, to say the least. Here we go.
As someone who went to the protest yesterday, Black people, you can go ahead and keep staying home. Next No Kings, just go ahead and stay home. Why? Because I went to 2 protests. One protest, I had a sign that commented about Israel, and a white lady came up to me and she was like, I want you to change your sign because it hurts my feelings. I went to the birthright. Have you ever been to Israel? They are nice people. Those are the type of people that are there. At the second protest that I went to, I had a white lady come up to me and was like, oh, I'm so glad that you're here because the last No Kings protest, no Black people showed up. And I was like, well, most Black people aren't showing up because no one showed up for them in 2020. And deadass, she looked at me and she was like, but it's even more important now. And I looked at her and I was like, because it's affecting you. Now, luckily, she woke up to it, but yeah, a lot of white people, they haven't grasped the intersectionality part of it, and I think we should stay down until they do. Until their bodies are being literally, like, taken away, they're not going to get it. Unfortunately, they're not going to get it.
Yeah, I keep saying, I'm saying this almost every other broadcast. At least, white America is going to have to suffer. That's the only way we're going to learn. Literally the only way we will learn. I don't know what else to say. But we're going to have to wise up. We're going to have to realize we need everybody at this table. This can't just be a white thing. Look how dumb we're running shit. We think I couldn't believe I was on Blue Sky and I'm just reading all of the self-congratulatory posts about, oh, it was such a wonderful time, man. Look at all the crowds. We showed up. Yeah. It's like, yeah, okay, what? Now what? And we're going to get into it. But yeah, Black people are not at the table. And we wonder why we fail. We wonder why we fail.
If the only people getting cuffed were MAGA, then that's not proof of success. What that tells us is this protest did not upset and threaten the power. It didn't challenge the system. It coordinated and cooperated with it. Y'all stayed exactly where the police told you y'all could be. Y'all barely disrupted traffic. That was well organized. And then y'all went home at 4 o'clock to rest up for work on Monday morning. I'm so sorry, but that's not a revolution. When Black Lives Matter protested, we were met with tear gas, rubber bullets, trucks plowing through crowds, and definitely not any mercy. Because our message wasn't convenient. It was a threat to white supremacy itself. But this weekend, police stood back and smiled, probably even waved at y'all as y'all went by. This was the illusion of rebellion. A sanitized, police-approved protest that shows exactly what white privilege looks like when it tries to cosplay resistance. You can't call it effective just because nobody got arrested or hurt. You can call that expected because, of course. Because 1, it was majority old white people, and 2, nothing about it disrupted the power. So no, the not having arrests, even though I heard there were some arrests at some, but the fact is that does not prove that it was a success, especially when it lasted 2 to 4 hours and everybody went home to clock in to work on Monday morning. They prove it was about safety, and that's great that everybody was safe, but safety does not come with real change. Where's all that energy when y'all get angry at us? Where's all that energy? Y'all are angry in my comments. Where is that energy? Bring that to your protest. Stop buying. Cancel Christmas, cancel Halloween, cancel Thanksgiving. Y'all shouldn't even be celebrating Thanksgiving anyway. Stop buying things. Toilet paper, rice, and beans. That's what we need y'all to do. That's being effective. Yes, it was great for optics. Yes, it was great for news headlines and videos on TikTok. But if y'all had a deadline and y'all stayed within your allowed perimeters, then baby, that's not a protest. It's a parade. I said what I said.
No, something just jumped at me. All of that money spent on costumes, signs, decorations, whatever the fuck, face paint. How many of those froggy costumes, those inflatable costumes, you know, the ones that, you know, are constantly being filled with air? How much? Those things are over $100 a piece, well over. So corporations made a buck on this protest. Look at all those signs. Look at these sumo wrestling costumes and wigs. How much do you think that cost? Can you imagine if we had redirected that money to real protests? Imagine if we had pooled all that money and sent it to black women who lost their job for standing up against fascism. Imagine if think of the millions of people that hit the streets, all the money that was spent. Imagine if we sent it to black people. That's revolutionary. That is revolutionary. And this flippant attitude, here's another one I want you to hear.
Oh, you made it very clear that y'all thought this was just fun and games. It was just something for y'all to get together and build community and you know, build networks and stuff. What the fuck have y'all been doing for the last few years? You do not get a pat on the back for just getting to a political space. You don't get to sit here and tell someone black, we're just having fun, la 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 la, because that's your caucasity. It's fun, it's silly, you're in a fucking movie, you're playing Katniss Everdeen, right? Or whatever that fucking white girl's name is. You're sitting there in your caucasity showing what the problem is. You want to know why black people don't trust white people? Because y'all say shit like this. Oh, it was just fun. It was a rally, girl. We weren't actually trying to make real change. And here's the thing. I had a lot of friends that were there that weren't previously there at places, and that was very cool to see. But what y'all are not admitting, that this is not going to help in a big, grand scheme of things. Y'all found community. What have you been doing the last few years? Oh, ignoring the world. Thank you for letting me know that you're able to do that.
Any comments? Sorry, I've been kind of...
No. She's completely correct.
I think she described it very correctly. It was a party. Yeah. All the videos I saw, except when the occasional Trump fuckwit, you know, comes out of his hidey hole and starts, you know, I mean, one of them, well, I think I have a video of one literally did a face plant. But, I mean,
yeah,
just
like, protesting is very important. So is voting very important. But I don't think what happened Saturday was very effective.
No, it didn't affect any real change at all.
No.
And again, they keep saying it. It didn't threaten the status quo. No. We are literally non-threatening. We don't threaten them because we're showing that we're not bothered. We're not touched by what's happening. Tangentially, we are, but we haven't felt the full ramifications. You know, we just gave, you know, a bunch of free data to ICE, to the Department of Warmongers, to the people who want to track, you know, and they kept telling you, hey, you're going to show up to these, you better wrap your phone because they're going to track you. Wrap your phone or leave it home. You're better off just leaving it home and carrying a burner, something that you're okay with losing.
I think it probably would have been more effective if they done this, say, on a Monday, and they done it all week till a Friday, and then resumed back on a Monday.
Oh, can
And
you?
then, like, say,
Oh my God! Imagine the chaos if we all collectively decided, you know what? We're not showing up to work this week. Imagine if every single one of these fashion show participants decided collectively, let's not show up to work. We're going to call in sick. We're going to do whatever. Let's just not go to work.
yeah,
This country
and yeah,
would have come to a screeching fucking halt. At least major portions of it.
Mhm.
Not only are we going to stay home from work, but we're going to be out in the streets protesting every single day. We'll do it in shifts if we have to. Now you're talking. Because
I mean, I understand.
no, I was going to say, with these weekend shenanigans, we've proven ourselves. We've proven we don't have the fortitude. Imagine the Montgomery bus boycotts. Those went on for an entire year. They boycotted those buses for over a year until the bus line and transportation in Montgomery, Alabama nearly went bankrupt. And not only there, but in other parts of the country, especially in the southern states.
There is a whole variety of things that we need to be doing, and protesting for a couple of hours on Saturday. Yeah, that's going to bring awareness, but it's not really getting us to the places where we need to be.
No.
There is a variety of things that we need to be doing, as well as going out and making sure we're voting. We've got a long way to go.
Yeah, no kidding. We've got a lot of learning to do because, again, we don't seem to be taking this very seriously.
No.
I mean, this is just a game. Imagine, again, the protests that happened in Europe. There was a country that literally got shut down. I think it was either Norway or Sweden. But yeah, it was in the, let me see, it was in the 70s. Let's see. It was a women's liberation movement. It was a Scandinavian country. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see. But they literally, the day Iceland's woman, it was Iceland. They went on strike. 1975, the women in Iceland took a day off from their usual jobs. Relations between Icelandic men and women were never quite the same. Yeah, this is according to the BBC. Now, this is how you protest. Look at this. All the women are in the streets. Look, young and old. You know? Didn't matter. Look at these little girls. These are teenage young girls in the crowd, too. You got older women. So 40 years ago, the women of Iceland went on strike. They refused to work, cook, or look after children for a day. It was a moment that changed the way women were seen in the country, and it helped put Iceland at the forefront of the fight for equality. I wouldn't say that, but okay, if you're talking about European, all right, that's fine. Ronald Reagan became the U.S. president. One small boy in Iceland was outraged. He can't be president. He's a man, he exclaimed to his mother when he saw the news on the television. That's because they had been used to, since 1980, they had a divorced single mother had won Iceland's presidency that summer. The boy didn't know it, but, all Icelanders go by their first name. Vigdis, she was Europe's first female president and the first woman in the world to be democratically elected as head of state. But yeah, but if it were it not for the events of October 24th, 1975, this is what we need. This is called disruption. Not this pansy ass, let's go, color ourselves up for a day. Look at this. They decided we're not going to work. We're not even going to look after the kids. Fuck you. Let's do Iceland 1. Okay. Yep. Boom. Yeah, look at all these women. Boom. Imagine if we collectively did that and said, you know what, we're not going to work. We're not doing any work whatsoever until this shit changes. That freaked everybody out. They're like, oh boy, we better do something because we can't have that. Instead of going to the office, doing housework or child care, they took to the streets in their thousands to rally for equal rights with men. It is known as in Iceland as the Women's Day Off. What happened that day was the first step for women's emancipation in Iceland. It completely paralyzed the country and opened the eyes of many men. No shit. You know what? I hate to say this, but the men are fucking useless. Maybe the women are going to have to do this. This is how sad this country is. The collective men in this country wouldn't dare. It was a baptism of fire for some fathers, which may explain the other name the day has been given, the Long Friday. We heard children playing in the background while the news readers read the news on the radio. It was a great thing to listen to, knowing that the men had to take care of everything. Yeah, they were falling apart. Banks, factories, shops had to close, as did schools and nurseries, leaving many fathers with no choice but to take their children to work. There were reports of men arming themselves with sweets and coloring pencils to entertain the crowds of overexcited children in their workplaces. Sausages, easy to cook and popular with children, were in such demand the shops sold out. As a radio presenter, I mean, hey, I think they were in better hands as opposed to fathers in this country. But let's not belabor the point. Radio presenters called households in remote areas of the country to gauge how many rural women were taking the day off. The phone was often answered by husbands who had stayed at home to look after the children. So they were trying to, hey, let's go talk to the women and see what happens. And every time, a man, hello, a very, very exhausted man. Yeah, this is what it takes. Really? So, could you repeat what you just said?
I said there's a lot of anti-immigration protests going on in London at the moment that have shut things down.
Anti-immigration.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, they still haven't learned a thing.
Nope. No, they haven't.
Immigration is literally what's keeping that country moving. And that's the one thing. They're not going to protest the low wages. They're not going to protest defunding the NHS. They're not going to protest defunding of social services, but they're going to protest immigrants who don't even have access to many of these services.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Dumb shits.
Yep.
Wow. Going back to Iceland, there was a tremendous power in it all and a great feeling of solidarity and strength among all those women standing on the square in the sunshine. A brass band played the theme tune of Shoulder to Shoulder, a BBC television series from the suffragette movement, which had aired in Iceland earlier that year. All they needed was an inspiration. Women in Iceland got the right to vote over 100 years ago in 1915, well before the women in our country. Behind only New Zealand and Finland, but over the next 60 years, only 9 women took seats in Parliament. In 1975, there were just 3 sitting female MPs, or just 5% of the Parliament, compared with between 16 and 23 in the other Nordic countries, and this was a major source of frustration. The idea of a strike was first proposed by the Red Stockings, a radical women's movement founded in 1970, but to some Icelandic women, it felt too confrontational. So what went on in the 5 years in between time? The Red Stocking movement had caused quite a stir already for their attack against traditional views of women, especially among older generations of women who had tried to master the art of being the perfect housewife and homemaker. But when the strike was renamed Women's Day Off, it secured near universal support, including solid backing from the unions. The program of the event itself reflected the emphasis that had been placed on uniting women from all social and political backgrounds. Women's suffrage around the world. Iceland is not the first country to give women the right to vote, but it was well ahead of the curve. New Zealand, 1893. Australia, 1902. Finland, 1906. Norway, 1913. Soviet Russia, 1917. Canada, Germany, Austria, Poland, 1918. Czechoslovakia, 1920. US and Hungary. And then UK was 1928. Limited suffrage from 1918. Switzerland, 1971. Jesus. So, how did the men feel about it? I think at first they thought it was something funny, but I can't remember any of them being angry. Men realized if they became opponents to this or refused to grant women leave, they would have lost their popularity. Yeah, they'd have lost more than that. There were only 2 reports of men not behaving. The husband of one of the main speakers was reportedly asked by a coworker, "Why did you let your woman howl like that in public places?" "I would never let my woman do such a thing." The husband shot back, "She's not the sort of woman who would ever marry a man like you." Good comeback. Another one, a conservative newspaper editor says, "I do not think that I have ever supported a strike, but I did not see this action as a strike. It was a demand for equal rights. It was a positive event." Wow. Back when conservatives actually thought about equality. No women worked at the paper that day. As he remembers it, none of them lost pay or were obliged to take the day as annual leave, and they returned at midnight to help get the newspaper finished. It was shorter than usual, though, 16 pages instead of 24. Wow. They truly cared. Probably most people underestimated this day's impact at the time. Later, both men and women began to realize it was a watershed moment. Yeah, you're right. This has got to happen during the week. We can't just take the weekend when it's convenient. See, this is the whole point of protest. It's not about convenience. You are disrupting the system. That's the whole goddamn point. And we have all of these examples, and no one's picking up on it. Everyone's so caught up in the moment of, ooh, I get to hang out with my besties and I might meet somebody. It's like, yeah, I don't know. It's just, when will we ever learn? We've got smartphones galore. We've got history books galore. When are we going to take this seriously? This isn't about a party. This isn't a social event. We need to knuckle down and say, hey, this is serious business. We're not fucking around. You know? Instead, we've got things like this.
All right, so I'm lefty curious, right? More than lefty curious, I'm dabbling my feet in the left. And I just came back from the No Kings joint, and I think I might have had the most blatantly racist interaction I've ever had in my life. Maybe top 10, maybe not the most, but it's in the top 10. So I'm standing at the No Kings joint, and I'm standing next to a white person. We are less than an arm's length away. This white person is on my right. So a older man and woman who are representative of, I think, the Socialist Party, walk past me and come up to the person that is next to me and begin talking to them and handing them a pamphlet and telling them about the Socialist Party. And it's not like they didn't see me there. I was looking at them throughout this entire interaction. They ignored me. They didn't hand me a pamphlet. They didn't talk to me. There was two people. One person could have talked to me and one person could have talked to them. They blatantly ignored me and talked to the white person next to me and shook their hand and said thank you and then walked away without even acknowledging my presence, trying to recruit this person into the Socialist Party in Chicago. This is the most blatantly racist interaction I might have ever had in my life. And do y'all move like that? I'm talking. So white lefties, help me understand. Help me out with this. Do y'all move like that? Is that what y'all on? I know it's not all of y'all, but somebody help me understand. What did I just experience?
You just experienced blatant racism, and that is not excusable. That is absolutely fucking disgusting. And I am so sorry from the bottom of my heart that you got treated like that. They shouldn't have treated you like that. And that is disgusting.
I mean, it's these microaggressions that,
Yeah.
This is coming from the party that's supposed to be above racism. You ever notice that? I tell you what. I mean, we already had a content. Oh yeah.
If somebody has a video of them doing that, we need to see it. It needs to be shared so we can be aware of who these racist fuckers are.
Start wearing a GoPro.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, let's all see it. Let's all see it.
I don't care what their political affiliation is. If they're being racist, they need to be called out for it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, this shouldn't be happening on our side, right? We're the illumined, we're the awakened, we're woke, I thought. Right?
Right.
Well, somebody gonna have to explain this shit. When we can't conduct ourselves any better than MAGA, what are we even doing? Huh? What are we doing right now?
I want to get our collective headers out of our asses and get this shit sorted out. Because this is unacceptable. This is unsustainable and unacceptable.
I mean, it's like, I can imagine this person getting looks like, oh, who's he? How did he get, what's he doing here? It's like, hello?
It shouldn't have been so rude.
Fucking morons. Start wearing a GoPro. If you must go to these costume parties, wear a GoPro, because we all need to see the racism that doesn't exist on the left. Guaranteed. And you want to know how many of these how many of these people do you want to bet did not vote for Kamala Harris? Have you noticed it's always the most loudest, the most flamboyant? I have to wonder if a lot of these people are telling on themselves. And they're overcompensating by getting a bigger, better sign with even more triggering words on it. And I just want to go up to them and say, who did you vote for in the last election? Just to see what their face does. Because we want to go to MAGA rallies. We love to send people, provocateurs, to MAGA rallies and ask them about things that Trump has said in the past, or what the Bible says about this or that. I'd like one of these people, like Good Trouble and Klepper. I want him to go to these No Kings rally. I would like to see Don Lemon talk to these people and say, hey, who'd you vote for in the last election? Did you vote? Who'd you vote for? Because I would be interested in seeing, how they act and how they react. Well, let's see. I'd say, you want to see people acting stupid during the protest?
Liberals, dirty, filthy animals. Take a picture.
Yeah.
I got 2 fingers for you liberals.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you a nice fuck you pie.
Is this your
Fuck you pie.
is this your restaurant?
What's that?
Is this your restaurant?
No, I invaded this place.
Ah, all right.
No, I don't even like these people.
Smile for everybody on TikTok, baby.
Starting an argument.
I'm just
I
kind
know,
of
Just letting you know.
wondering why he's dressed up as Barney Rubble's brother.
This will be going on TikTok.
Liberal scumbag.
Yeah, I'm going to play that again. I want you to read the signs that he's got. Read the business signs.
Liberals, dirty, filthy animals. Take a picture.
Yeah.
I got
Liberals, dirty, filthy animals. The Favoroso family welcomes you. Really? This is some welcome, huh? Who do you think eats at your establishment, you fat fuck?
2 fingers for you liberals.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you.
Look at this motherfucker laughing. I bet you that's the owner, and this tub of lard is just a relative working the meat counter.
A nice fuck you pie.
Is this your
Fuck you pie.
is this your restaurant?
What's that?
Is this your restaurant?
No, I invaded this place.
Ah, all right.
No, I don't even like these people.
Smile for everybody on TikTok, baby.
Starting an argument.
No, I know. I'm just letting you know. This will be going on TikTok.
Did you see the work sign, the help wanted sign? Who the fuck do they think is going to work for them? You think
Nobody with any common sense.
you think MAGA is going to show up to work? You think MAGA is going to show up to work your barely bare minimum? I call it bare minimum wage. The bare minimum wage. Yeah. And there's a lot more where that came from. Let's keep it going.
And if you're a white person bragging about how No Kings was so peaceful and there was no arrest, you've actually lost the plot, because civility is the tool of the oppressor, which means when black people start going out on the streets, they want you to equate that with violence, so they're going to start arresting and tear gassing people. They're going to compare it to the No Kings protest, and you are going to let them.
Yeah. So it's like, we've learned very little in the aftermath. It's just going to keep getting worse. These performances, again, it has to be said, these performances are nothing but what they are, just performances. Let's keep going.
Oh, you made it very clear that y'all thought this was just fun and games. It was just something for y'all to get together and build community and build networks and stuff. What the fuck have y'all been doing for the last few years? You do not get a pat on the back for just getting to a political space. You don't get to sit here and tell someone black, we're just having fun, la 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 la, because that's your caucasity. It's fun, it's silly, you're in a fucking movie, you're playing Katniss Everdeen, right? Or whatever that fucking white girl's name is. You're sitting there in your caucasity showing what the problem is. You want to know why black people don't trust white people? Because y'all say shit like this. Oh, it was just fun. It was a rally, girl. We weren't actually trying to make real change. And here's the thing. I had a lot of friends that were there that weren't previously there at places, and that was very cool to see.
Yeah, we've heard that clip already, but it bears repeating.
Yeah.
It bears repeating.
It does.
It's not a
It
party.
does. No, it's like to get a successful momentum going, we need to be building up a group, a activist group. We need to be getting leadership and members involved. We need to be gaining supporters and sympathizers. We need to make it sustainable. We need
And we
logistics of
need
it
to make it hurt. It's got to hurt the economy.
That's what I was just about to get into. We need to make it an enduring cycle. We need to make it an uprising. We need it to peak. We need to concentrate and evolve it until there is a new normal of change that everybody is on an equal footing.
Yep. Absolutely. And what can you say?
I'm going back to drinking my Lemsip.
No, and black women have tried. They tried warning us.
Good morning. Happy Monday. I have one question and one question only for today, and I want everybody to think about it. Do y'all still think this is black folks? Do y'all still think the black population is doing this to you? Do you still believe that black people are the enemy? Do you still believe that we are the ones that's causing you all of your pain and suffering? Do y'all still believe that? After everything that you're seeing, after everything you're hearing, you can see what Trump is doing. Do you still blame black folk? I'm not talking about Africans. I'm not talking about African Americans. I'm talking about the black race. Do you still blame the black race for you and your shit? All right, let me know.
And I think that this blame, I think it still goes. I don't think it's just MAGA. It can't be. We've talked about this numerous times. Not over 90 million voters for Joe Biden. I don't think Kamala Harris got over 75 million. I think she got 74 or something. I don't know if she got over 95 million. Trump got Trump got 75 million, and I think Kamala got 74. But I think this blame of black people, I think it goes on in the Democratic Party. And for those in the back, pay attention.
All right. Now I've had some more of this and I don't feel like I'm choking.
You're
We
muted.
need to get some proper. Oh, I've just unmuted.
Okay.
We need to get some proper strategies and plans in place. We need to organize and orchestrate ourselves properly to make these protests more effective. That's okay. If you
Yeah, no, it's just the strategy that we have is piss poor and it's performative. You know, it's just performative. And
that's why we need to get better strategies and contingencies in places that are making these protests more effective. They need to be done on weekdays where it's actually going to have an effect. Pamphlets and other things needs, we need to get things organized so it can be more effective. There is stages that we need to follow to get all these little things into place to make it more of an effective protest.
I just think, white as a group, white people are just not serious about protesting. We're not serious yet.
They should,
because
they need to.
It hasn't hurt enough. We're okay with doing a weekend, but we're not willing to actually shut shit down because, oh my goodness, that might hurt my stock portfolio.
Do you know if the Trump administration is let to go on any longer, you ain't going to have any stock in your portfolio to worry about?
Nope. Nope.
It was beautiful. It was a parade on a Saturday afternoon. It was a community meet and greet with signs, costumes, and bubbles. The majority of the people there were older white folks. According to some reports, Gen Z was noticeably missing. So yeah, it was majority older white folks, angry older white folks, the same older white folks who get angry and upset and clutch their imaginary pearls when black and brown people protest for our lives and our rights. It was the Purple Revolution crowd. It was the right-wing, not quite MAGA, but not quite in the middle crowd. Because why am I hearing that people who were holding Free Palestine flags were getting hackled and being called communists? Why am I hearing that people that had LGBTQIA plus flags and Black Lives Matter flags and pro-black flags and any flags that didn't have to do with whiteness being attacked were then in turn attacked by the same people protesting for rights? No, this was the crowd of the people who only care now because they're feeling the sting. I'm sorry to say it, but this was not some awakening. It was a rehabilitation for the people who have just now started to feel the sting of the system they've ignored for decades. They are not pro-human. They are pro-themselves. They didn't show up for George Floyd. They didn't get up and march for Gaza. They didn't march for land back, for migrant children, for trans rights. No, they're marching for themselves. They got up because they started to feel the burn from the house being on fire, the same house fire that we've been screaming about for decades. That is not solidarity. That is self-preservation dressed up as patriotism. They got up and got out because the comfort they always thought they'd have is now at risk. Real change, real revolution does not protect comfort. And now what? You showed up, you marched, you danced, you blew bubbles, you sang, you waved your No Kings sign around. And tomorrow, then what? You'll go back to work? You'll continue to ignore the systemic oppression that is costing the lives of black and brown children. You'll continue to ignore black lives by saying all lives matter. You'll continue to support pro is not real companies by purchasing. You'll continue with your Christmas, Thanksgiving, and Halloween plans. You'll continue making your Target and Starbucks runs. What now? And then you wonder why we're not giving y'all pats on the back. Even going as far as seeing some white liberals or leftists or whatever they want to call themselves, saying that they're tired of us complaining. Oh, you really didn't want to get anything done. You just wanted to show up and make it look like you were doing something. Got it.
Protest, I've had a very grim realization. Majority of people are not angry enough. We are most definitely underreacting to this, and I feel like it's going to quite literally take until he's saying he's gonna run for a third term, literally 3 years from now, for anyone to actually do anything that's going to be effective. And I'm telling y'all right fucking now, by then, it's going to be too fucking late. So, I'm going to focus on myself and my community and protecting myself and my community. But as far as it goes for, like, telling people that what it is that we need to do and shit, I'm done. Because honestly, y'all know what's going on, but it's like, as long as I can still just, like, it's just fucking ridiculous.
Basically, the collective exhaustion and fatigue is what I'm seeing. And they're fed up. And you wonder why they don't join any movement, because we're not willing to cede control. We're not willing to let proper leaders lead because we're afraid it might cost us something. Missed opportunity after this entire parade was just one big clusterfuck. We wasted all of this energy. And do you think the Gen Z crowd, do you think they're taking any of this seriously? The ones that are staffing the store, they're the ones working the shops in and around these parade locations. What do they think? They're like, oh, great, another parade. And what is this going to do for us exactly? We're working dead-end jobs. And can you imagine people who are doing food delivery service? They're like, well, now because of this fucking parade, that's not going to do a fucking thing for this country. Looks like your order is going to be late. There's no get there. I can't get through. I can't even get your order. I can't. It's like, again, until we're ready to shut it down, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And speaking, well, I'll just let her do it.
I don't care how oppressed you are in this country. I'm sure people are going to come over and say, yes, me, I'm saying this. I don't care how oppressed you are in this country. Nothing justifies genocide or arguing to not only support an administration that is doing a genocide, but give up a leverage that costs you nothing. It costs you.
Thank you for being honest. You actually got me at my desk today. Microphone and all. Now we can start having the real conversations that we've been trying to have, but you guys kept trying to gaslight us and say that it wasn't true. Genocide is not your hard line. Genocide in certain regions to certain people, that's the issue for you. But genocide within parameters, that's okay with you, especially when it happens to people that are here in the United States, because in your mind, we deserve it, right? Never mind all of the children and the disabled and every other minority group within the genocided group here. But then again, you benefit from that. You are also complicit in it, and it seems like you might be a little bit more. Now, personally, if I was somebody whose ancestors held strange fruit events, I'd probably be a lot more humble when I was talking about oppression and the unaliving of groups. But it's pretty on brand for you not to be. It's giving missionary, evangelical missionary. But again, thank you for being honest, and thank you so much for dropping the mask.
This same activist went into her comment section and tried getting lippy, like she had owned her, like, oh yeah, I got you, didn't I? Well, you got triggered. It's like, boy, you got mad. I guess I must have said something. And then she responds, no, I'm not mad. You just don't know what you're talking about. I know something that you don't. That's what this is. That's what this means. It's like, The caucasity audacity is what this is.
Now, if she just taken her time to take her head out of her ass and actually sit down and listen to this lady, she could have learned a few things.
Imagine being focused on genocides in this country, as opposed to it's so easy to care about something that is so far removed from you than it is to care for what's happening in your own backyard. Isn't that amazing? We want to care about the entire world except the world we are in. We want to care about other worlds, other places, other long, faraway places that we read about. And it's like, you've got a mess in your own backyard. Can we not fix that? If we don't fix what's in our backyard, you're sure as fuck not going to fix what's over there. Not in Gaza, not in Ghana, not in the Congo, not in what's happening in Nigeria, not to mention several other genocides that are happening. The Sudan, that's back in the news. Ever so often, it pops up. Yeah, I heard about. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So, but yeah, it's yeah. So Trump yelling at Zelensky, it does not surprise me. Doesn't surprise me. I mean,
apparently a staffer overheard that Trump said to Zelensky that he must take the fucking deal and he must be grateful for everything that he's doing, and he's got to let Putin and Russia take the land that they've already taken and just be grateful that there's nothing else that he's decided to take.
Patriot Missile 1, Patriot Missile 2.
Is basically what Zelensky said to him, and I hope Zelensky sticks to his guns, because fuck Trump, fuck Putin.
It sounds like he already is. But, speaking of our backyard.
I'm going to my local township today to ask them how the fuck and why the fuck did the KKK walk through our local Halloween parade? Because the KKK just walked through our Halloween parade. Mechanicsburg.
Yeah. Yeah. That's happening. You got the Proud Boys, the Patriotic Front, the Judean People's Front, the People's Front of Judea. I mean, it's the same fucking assholes. You got the Blood Aryans marching through with their fucking swastikas. Yeah. Yeah, talk about our own backyard. But yeah, let's focus on Palestine. Let's talk about that. Yes, is it heartbreaking? Yes, but guess what? We had a chance to stem it and maybe put a stop to it. But we allowed Trump to get elected. Democrats, white Democrats, allowed Trump to get elected. So now we get to protest in fashion costume some more. I'll bet you they're shaking in their boots. And I swear, I'm going to put some of these people on blast in my comment section. Yeah, well, Trump tweeted about it. It's like, so what? How did that affect the here and the now? Maybe that's what I need to start doing. I need to start doing response videos.
Yeah, because it didn't have any effect. I mean, yeah, Trump posted a video of dumping slime or shitting all over the protesters.
Yeah, stupid AI video. I saw that. What was funny is he didn't even have his face mask on. You're supposed to have a special respirator or that pumps oxygen into you while you're flying at high altitudes and,
If anybody
There he
wants
is.
to know
He's
what
like,
he thinks of the
it's
American
like
people,
it's like how
there it is.
yeah, it's how MAGA wore their masks during COVID.
I know, it's ridiculous. So yeah, if anybody has any wondering thoughts of what Trump thinks of the American people, there is the shining example.
Dropping poop on the
Shit
No
all
Kings
over us.
parade. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, again, that's they don't take us seriously because they know we're not willing to put our money where our mouth is. We have no substance. This performative bullshit that we did is of no substance. Any final thoughts?
I would like to call Asda's out.
Go ahead.
So, Asda's, please, please, please. For big-breasted women, can you at least make a bra that has got the underwire thick enough to support the weight of boobies? I now need to go buy a new bra.
Good night, everybody.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share.